Alright guys, this is a new channel I like to make just because, just whatever. But what I like to talk about right now is something that everyone has associated with pretty much by the time they're in high school. And it's drugs is such a bad word, but so I'll say psychedelics, whatever. But usually what I've only done is, well, I'm not gonna say usually, but what I've only done is drink, obviously, smoke weed and do mushrooms, because I don't, the chemical shit where like, well, obviously alcohol is chemical, but I don't mess around with ecstasy or coke or whatever everybody else does. Like I know a lot of kids that do that, but I'm sticking to those three. I've never even smoked cigarettes. Anyways, so what it is I like to just say is that mushrooms is not as bad as you think it is. It's really not. It's not like, like my mindset is that, okay, if I just think of happy thoughts and I'm just gonna have a good time, I'm not gonna freak out and I'm never gonna have a bad trip, and I've never had a bad trip. The first time I ever did shrooms, I wanted to make sure I had a bad trip, just so I know I wouldn't do. I wanted, oh, this is awesome. I want to see what else is there. Like LSD, I don't want to do that. But so I made myself have a bad trip, and it was in this room right here. And the first time I did it, I don't even know how much I did. I think I did like 3 grams. I don't know. My friend just kept handing me just handfuls. I was like, holy fuck! I just kept mowing them, and I gotta say, the very first time you take something other than what you're out of the norm is the most. It's not scary, but it's just like you feel like, okay, I'm gonna do it right now. Okay, I'm gonna do it now. I'm gonna do it now. I'm gonna do it now. And then just putting mushrooms in your mouth for the very first time is the weirdest feeling you've ever done in your life. You're just like, what the fuck did I just do? Did I just put magic mushrooms in my mouth? I used to make fun of people who do this, and now I'm doing it. Like, what the hell? So what I did when I did it, stupid me, I didn't know what mushrooms were about. I didn't know if you like actually hallucinated as bad as some movies portrayed it. So I was like, whatever. It was a Sunday, by the way, and I had to go skiing with my class the next day. So what we did, I ate about 3 grams, and I went with some friends, and we climbed up a mountain, and we smoked a fat blunt up there. And it's weird because I've done mushrooms 3 times, and every time I've done them, I always see dragons. Like I don't actually see a fucking Dudley the dragon come by me, but I see dragons and something. Like I seen like when we were smoking a joint on the fucking hill. There was a cloud that looked like a dragon. It looked like it was almost coming towards us, but it was like bypassing us. But I wasn't afraid or scared or anything, but I was concerned. I just wanted to watch what it would do. I was just like, okay, there's a dragon there, but I'm not scared. I'm just looking what this dragon's doing, or whatever. It's a fucking. How often do you see a dragon, or whatever? So, I was like, I was feeling kind of good, and I was like, well, I don't feel gross or anything, but it tastes like athlete's foot. I wouldn't, I don't know. I ate it with chips, so I don't know. But I was like, okay, well, I don't like this is stupid. I don't like this. Like when you get baked, you feel it right away, right? Mushrooms, it takes at least half an hour to an hour to get like even to start kicking in, but it lasts a long time. And the what happened to me is we dropped all my other friends off, and we are just like, okay, well, and she started to drive me home. And then right when I got home, I started to laugh and laugh and laugh, and then I put down the mirror thing and looked in my eyes, and my eyes, I looked like a fucking anime character. I was like, holy shit. Like I didn't know my eyes would look like this. I'm like, am I fucked up right now? She's like, yeah, you're not just going home baked now. You're actually like on drugs. Like not like anything bad. It's still natural, but you're on drugs. And I was like, oh fuck. Okay, well let's circle the block a few times. So I went around, and the way that the light was hitting the trees, it looked like the trees were almost like, so it was like obviously the dead trees, so there's nothing with leaves on them, but it looked like they just started to grow like hands. It didn't like look like trees sprouted hands, but like looked like the branches almost turned into hands, and it just looked like it wasn't like moving like around, but it was like it looked like it was about to like come over top of me and just like just like tower over me, and I was just like, holy shit. So I go into my house, and I'm just laughing my ass off. I'm like, oh my god, I can't handle this. Like I'm freaking out. Like holy shit. And I was hungry though. I was like, fuck, that tasted awful. I want some food with this. And I was like, oh, so I went upstairs, and I'm making food. I'm like, Like, I forgot my mom was home. And I was, the kitchen's here, and her room's like right next to it. And I was like, oh shit. I started laughing. Mom's like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, well, I'm making food for skiing tomorrow. So I made sandwiches and whatever, and I brought it downstairs. And I started watching a movie. I started watching, it was 30 minutes or less. And I paused it at one point, and Aziz Ansari's the guy. His face is turned like this, and he's like brown or whatever. But I looked at his face, and I swear to God, it looked like his face was bubbling, and just like protruding out, and just I don't even know. And I looked around my room. Like, I'll show you my room. My room's a trippy fucking place. So you see, there's the Motley Crue posters, and there's the whatever, and there's that, and just everything. I just looked around around the room, and I was just like, holy shit. And I wanted to record myself. I actually have on my other channel a 52-minute video of myself fucked up. Just like, I'm just looking around. Like, obviously you can't see what I see because you're not in my head, but you just see me sitting there rolling around in bed. Like, at one point I was just naked, just rolling in my sleep. Like, I had a sleeping bag. I don't even know why, but I was just rolling around, and I was just like the only way to describe it is that everything was the best. Like, doesn't matter what it was, everything was the best. It's like, that wall's white. That is a good white wall. I love it. I love that white wall. Fuck. I don't know. Like, this sleeping bag makes this sound. That's awesome. I love it. I love it. I'm loving this. Fuck. I don't know. And then I thought to myself, okay, well, I don't want to do other drugs, so I want to have a bad trip. So, like, I'm not gonna be like, ooh, or anything, but like, I can't even explain how it was. Before I was having a bad trip, I could see my hand in motion. Like, I could, like, here, never mind. But I could see motion. Like, I moved my hand, and I could see all, like, how my hand would move. I've seen it, like, go down, and I've seen, like, I could go like this, and colors, and I could form energy in my hand. I swear to God, at one point, I was a fucking Super Saiyan. I was like, okay, I want to try this right now. I went like this, and then, like, up on my roof, and the whole roof went blue, and it's just a luminescent blue. I was like, what the fuck? Like, holy shit, what is going on right now? And then I was just like, no, that's just too much. I can't even handle that. And I just kept yelling to myself, I am so fucked. I am so fucked. And I looked in the morning. I got a text from my mom saying, are you okay? And I was like, that's funny. But I don't even know. Like, it was just insane. So, but yeah, again, back to the bad trip. So I wanted to have a bad trip, and the whole room was still blue. So I just started. All you have to do is think about just unhappy thoughts, whatever would make you feel sad, and like a normal sober thing. You don't have to think about something fucked up, like, just something that makes you generally sad, not just like, oh, Hitler, because you were, fuck. Just like, you think about, oh, when my dog died, or when my dad killed my mom, whatever. I'm not saying that happened to you. I'm just saying, like, if that happened, then you just think about that, and you're just like, oh, that sucks. And then, like, it just makes you sad. And what happened to me is when the room was blue, it totally, like, looked like the blue was just sucked into one little vortex in the floor, and then just disappeared. And then the whole room turned into one big, like, the TV was still on, but it was dark. The whole room, it just went black. And I have this Motley Crue poster right here. Those faces, fuck, that scared the faces. The frowns started getting like really mad, and the smile went up and did the big, when the Grinch, and he gets that idea, and the cartoon one, and his face just goes up and just curls, and his smile is just really twisted looking and whatever and weird. Fucking that happened, and and then it looked like there was like a shadow on top of everything, and everything, like in Snow White, when like there's like she's running through the forest, and there's trees, and everything looks like it's coming over here and just gonna grab her, and just like, like I was like, holy fuck. I just started laughing, and it was, the bad trip was over, and it was just insane. Like, I couldn't even. And then the other crazy thing that happened is that I texted one of my friends. I'm like, I am so fucked up right now. She's like, come meet me. So I went out, and I snuck out. When I was sneaking out of the house, my stairs are like up to my door. Every time I would like step, they would ripple. Like, everything rippled. I was like, holy shit. And I was the most quiet I've ever been in my life, because I knew that if my mom was going to catch me not only sneaking out, but sneaking out fucked up on a Sunday night, I'm going to be screwed. Like, I'm going to be screwed. So I was the most quiet I could possibly be. And so I snuck out of the road. I was on, it was like, I don't know, like 1 o'clock in the morning or something like that. I was on the road, and I remember looking at the road, and it was rippling. And I just thought, I jumped, and I stomped as hard as I could, and the whole road did like a fucking, like a wave. Like, it was just like, the whole road was like, woof. I was like, holy shit. Like, and then trees were like, again, we're going like this, but it wasn't scary. It was just like, holy, like, I just, you know, just like, wow, look at that. I know it's not real, but it's fucking sweet. But I don't know, like, for me, mushrooms is not everything. I'm gonna tell you this right now. If you do mushrooms, I'm not saying do mushrooms. I'm saying if you do them, it's not. You just think happy thoughts, and you will have the best time of your life. I shit you not. It'll be the best thing you've ever done. Every time you have like, you just get like epiphanies, and like, it's not like, you know, when you smoke weed and you get like, oh, this would be a good idea. No, you smoke weed, you figure out, you know, build a better mousetrap. When you do mushrooms and you figure shit out, you figure out the universe. Like, I was just thinking, holy fuck, the universe is so small. We are a speck in an endless vortex of stars and blackness and whatever. And in my mind, your mind is just like, it's like, oh my god, like, this is insane. And this is only my first trip. I've done it 3 times. I plan to set another video on, I think, Friday or Saturday. Because me and my friend are going on a hike and then going on a 3D movie, just fucked on shrooms, and we're gonna record the whole thing, and I'll get back to you, get a better fucking camera than this piece of shit. And just, you know, it's like, I don't see, if you're gonna do drugs, I space out every time. Like, I do it at least 2 or 3 months every time, because I don't want to be like, oh yeah, let's do shrooms every day. I just, you know, if I want to trip, then I'm gonna trip once in a while. So, you know, just like whatever. So, yeah, mushrooms.